Have you ever wondered how it feels to ride the extreme highs and plunge into the profound lows of bipolar depression? Well, today, let's delve into this complex mental health disorder, unveiling its mystery and shedding light on its profound impact. Bipolar depression, also commonly known as bipolar disorder, is a mental health condition characterized by significant mood swings. These mood swings range from manic episodes, periods of extreme elation and boundless energy, to depressive episodes marked by profound sadness and a lack of interest or pleasure in most activities. There are generally two main types of bipolar disorder. Bipolar I disorder involves periods of severe mood episodes, from mania to depression. On the other hand, bipolar II disorder is a milder form, entailing milder episodes of hypomania that alternate with periods of severe depression. But how prevalent is this condition, you may ask? Bipolar disorder affects about 1 in every 50 people globally. That's almost 150 million individuals worldwide living with this condition. It's more common than you might think, yet it remains shrouded in misunderstanding and stigma. The impact of bipolar depression on people's lives cannot be understated. It affects every aspect of a person's life, from their relationships and careers to their self-esteem and physical health. It's a lifelong condition that requires careful management and understanding from both the individual and those around them. But remember, bipolar depression is not a life sentence. With the right treatment and support, individuals with this disorder can lead fulfilling and productive lives. It's about understanding the condition, managing its symptoms, and cultivating resilience. So, as we move forward in this discussion, let's keep in mind that understanding bipolar depression starts with acknowledging its complexity and its profound impact on people's lives. Let's hear from Dr. Smith, a renowned psychiatrist, about the clinical aspects of bipolar depression. Bipolar depression, as explained by Dr. Smith, is a mental health condition characterized by alternating periods of mania and depression. This is not the typical ups and downs that everyone experiences. These mood swings can be so intense that they interfere with one's daily life, affecting relationships, work, and even physical health. The clinical symptoms of bipolar depression are multifaceted. During the depressive phase, one might experience feelings of sadness, hopelessness, or a lack of energy. They may also have trouble sleeping or concentrating. During the manic phase, symptoms might include feelings of euphoria, restlessness, or increased energy. Some people may also engage in risky behaviors or make impulsive decisions. Diagnosing bipolar depression isn't as straightforward as one might think. Dr. Smith emphasizes that it requires a careful and comprehensive psychiatric evaluation. This often includes a thorough discussion of personal and family psychiatric history, as well as observing patterns in mood swings and behaviors. When it comes to treatment options, Dr. Smith explains that there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Treatment is tailored to the individual and often includes a combination of medication, psychotherapy, and lifestyle changes. Medications can help manage the mood swings, while psychotherapy, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, can provide skills to cope with the condition. Lifestyle changes, including regular exercise, adequate sleep, and a healthy diet, can also play a crucial role in managing bipolar depression. Dr. Smith also underscores the importance of a strong support system. Family, friends, and mental health professionals can all provide invaluable assistance in navigating the challenges of this condition. Bipolar depression isn't just about mood swings. It's a complex condition that requires comprehensive understanding and appropriate treatment. Understanding the clinical aspects of bipolar depression is crucial, not just for those diagnosed with the condition, but also for their loved ones and the wider community. By deepening our knowledge, we can foster empathy, reduce stigma, and ultimately improve the lives of those living with bipolar depression. Now let's listen to Jane, a brave soul who's been living with bipolar depression. Jane's journey began in her early 20s. She describes it as a roller coaster ride, with dizzying highs and bleak lows. Imagine waking up one day feeling invincible, like you could conquer the world, she says, and then the next, not even being able to get out of bed. Jane's highs, or manic episodes, were filled with rushed ideas and racing thoughts. She would go days without sleep, her mind buzzing with a relentless energy. "I felt like a superhuman," Jane recalls, "but it was a deceptive kind of power. It was unsustainable." On the flip side, her depressive episodes were debilitating. Jane would lose interest in things she once loved. She'd feel isolated, despite being surrounded by people who cared about her. It's like being stuck in a deep, dark pit, she explains, and no matter how hard you try, you can't climb out. Jane's bipolar depression didn't just affect her, but also those around her. Her relationships strained under the weight of her unpredictable mood swings. It was hard for my loved ones to understand, Jane admits, and even harder for me to explain. But Jane's story is also one of resilience. She sought help, started therapy, and began taking medication. It was a long and winding road, but Jane persevered. Every day is a battle, she says, but it's a battle I'm willing to fight. Over time, Jane learned to manage her symptoms and even found strength in her struggle. She now advocates for mental health awareness, hoping her story can inspire others. Bipolar depression is a part of me, she says, but it doesn't define me. Jane's journey is a testament to the human spirit's resilience. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, we can find strength, hope, and the will to keep going. Living with bipolar depression isn't easy, but with courage and resilience, it's possible to lead a fulfilling life. What does society think about bipolar depression? Let's hear from Dr. Johnson, a social psychologist. Dr. Johnson explains, society's perception of bipolar depression is often shrouded in misconception and misunderstanding. The term bipolar is casually thrown around in conversations to describe mood swings without understanding its true gravity. This not only trivializes the condition, but also creates harmful stereotypes. She continues, stereotypes paint a picture of individuals with bipolar depression as unpredictable, unstable, and even dangerous. This is distressingly far from the truth. It's crucial to understand that people with bipolar depression are not defined by their condition. They are individuals with unique strengths and abilities who happen to be battling a mental health disorder. Dr. Johnson emphasizes, the stigma around bipolar depression can have serious consequences. It can prevent individuals from seeking help due to fear of judgment or discrimination. It can isolate them from their social circles, creating a feeling of loneliness. And it can limit their opportunities in life, leading to a vicious cycle of self-doubt and low self-esteem. She adds, stigma doesn't just affect the individual with the condition. It also impacts their loved ones who may feel helpless or misunderstood. This creates a ripple effect, perpetuating a cycle of silence and suffering. Dr. Johnson concludes, the key to breaking this cycle is education and empathy. We must dispel the myths surrounding bipolar depression and encourage open conversations about mental health. We must ensure that individuals with bipolar depression are met with understanding, compassion, and support rather than judgment and fear. She ends with a powerful statement, remember, stigma is born out of ignorance. Let's replace ignorance with knowledge and empathy. Let's create a society where mental health is discussed with the same ease as physical health. And let's remember that mental health disorders like bipolar depression are not character flaws, but medical conditions that require understanding, care, and support. It's time we change our perspective and fight the stigma surrounding bipolar depression. Coping with bipolar depression can be challenging. Let's hear from therapist Dr. Brown about effective coping strategies and the importance of a support system. Starting with the words of Dr. Brown, coping mechanisms are essentially tools in our toolbox. They are strategies that individuals with bipolar depression can utilize to manage their symptoms and lead fulfilling lives. He goes on to emphasize the importance of recognizing triggers, maintaining a regular schedule, getting adequate sleep, and engaging in physical activity. Dr. Brown explains, it's crucial to identify what might trigger a mood swing. This could be anything from a lack of sleep, to stress, to certain foods or beverages. Once you know your triggers, you can work to avoid them or develop strategies to cope. He also stresses the importance of a regular schedule. Routine can be a powerful tool for people with bipolar disorder. Having a regular sleep schedule, regular meal times, and a regular exercise routine can all help to stabilize mood. Next, he delves into the importance of sleep. Getting enough sleep is crucial. Lack of sleep can trigger manic or depressive episodes, so it's important to prioritize good sleep hygiene. Physical activity is another coping mechanism that Dr. Brown recommends. Exercise can help to regulate mood and reduce anxiety. It doesn't have to be anything strenuous. Even a brisk walk can make a difference. Turning to the topic of support systems, Dr. Brown emphasizes, a strong support system is key. This could be friends, family, a support group, or a mental health professional. It's important to have people who understand what you're going through and can provide support when you need it. He concludes by saying, therapy can also be a vital part of a support system. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, can help individuals with bipolar depression to identify negative thought patterns and develop healthier ways of thinking. A strong support system and effective coping strategies can make a world of difference in the life of someone with bipolar depression. Where are we heading in terms of research on bipolar depression? Let's hear from Dr. Patel, a leading researcher in the field. As we delve into the future of bipolar depression research, it's important to remember that this is an evolving field, with new discoveries being made every day. Dr. Patel, a pioneering figure in bipolar depression research, shares that the future is filled with promise. There are several exciting areas of ongoing research, he says. One of the most promising is the field of genetics. We're starting to understand the genetic factors that make someone more likely to develop bipolar disorder. This could potentially lead to earlier diagnosis and intervention, improving the chances of managing the condition effectively. The field of neuroimaging is also making significant strides. We are now able to identify structural changes in the brain related to bipolar disorder. This could potentially allow us to predict the onset of the condition, even before symptoms start to appear, Dr. Patel explains. Moreover, the future of bipolar depression management is not just about new treatments, but also about improving existing ones. There's a lot of work being done to refine the therapies we already have, Dr. Patel notes. This includes optimizing medication doses and exploring combination therapies to reduce side effects and improve overall quality of life. The exploration of alternative treatments is also gaining momentum. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, for instance, is showing promise in helping individuals manage their symptoms, Dr. Patel shares. We're also looking at the potential benefits of physical activity and dietary changes. The future of bipolar depression research is also about empowerment. We're focusing on patient-centered approaches and personalized medicine, Dr. Patel says. We're aiming for treatments that are tailored to the individual's specific needs and circumstances. In closing, Dr. Patel states, the goal of our research is to improve the lives of those living with bipolar depression. We're making great strides, but there's still much to learn. The future of bipolar depression research holds promise for better understanding and management of the condition. Bipolar depression affects millions worldwide. It's a call to action for all of us. With this knowledge, we are compelled to take a stand, to push for a world where understanding and empathy are the norm, not the exception. Consider for a moment the sheer number of people touched by this condition. It's not just the individuals with the diagnosis, but also their families, friends, and communities. It's a ripple effect that extends far beyond what we may initially realize. Yet, despite this widespread impact, there's a glaring need for increased awareness. Too often, bipolar depression is misunderstood or misinterpreted. It's crucial that we challenge these misconceptions, that we educate ourselves and others to shed light on the true nature of this condition. But awareness is just the first step. We also need better resources. This includes more accessible and affordable mental health services, as well as effective treatments and support systems. Imagine a world where help is not a privilege but a right, a world where no one has to fight their battles alone. And let's not forget about research. The future of bipolar depression relies heavily on scientific advancements. It's through research that we can discover new treatments, understand the underlying causes, and ultimately, find a cure. However, none of this is possible without empathy and support. It's easy to dismiss what we don't understand, but it's braver to seek understanding, to listen, to empathize, to support. We all have a role to play, whether it's as simple as offering a listening ear or as significant as advocating for policy changes. Remember, every single effort counts. Every conversation, every shared experience, every act of kindness. These are the things that foster understanding, that break down barriers, that change lives. Change starts with us. Let's be the catalyst for a more understanding and supportive world for those living with bipolar depression. We've delved into the complex world of bipolar depression today. It's not a simple topic, but it's one that is crucial to our understanding of mental health. We began by unveiling the mystery of bipolar depression, a condition characterized by extreme mood swings. It's more than just the ups and downs of everyday life. It's a persistent pattern of highs and lows that can seriously impact one's quality of life. From a clinical perspective, we learned that bipolar depression is not a one-size-fits-all diagnosis. It has different types and each presents with unique symptoms. It's a complex interplay of genetics, brain structure, and environmental factors. It's not just about feelings, but a physiological condition that needs medical attention. We then heard a personal account that gave us a glimpse into the realities of living with bipolar depression. It's a daily battle, not just with the condition itself, but also with the stigma that surrounds it. Society often misunderstands and misrepresents bipolar depression, making the journey even more challenging for those affected. And yet, despite these challenges, we learned about various coping mechanisms and support systems. From therapy and medication to mindfulness and a strong support network, there are numerous ways people with bipolar depression can manage their condition and lead fulfilling lives. Looking to the future, we discussed the ongoing research in bipolar depression. Scientists and clinicians are continuously working to find more effective treatments and hopefully a cure. It's a beacon of hope that shines brightly in the face of adversity. Finally, we issued a call to action. Mental health is everyone's business. We all have a role to play, whether it's educating ourselves, breaking down stigma, or simply offering a listening ear to someone in need. Remember, understanding and empathy can make a world of difference. Thank you for taking the time to learn about bipolar depression.